So everything that I was thinking, I'm talking about suicidal thoughts here. Just what am I doing? Am I better off just dying? Like, am I better off just, I'm not where I want to be. This is not the way I wanted my life to go. This is not the way that I planned this.
Hermana, vivir tu vida, yo te incito. Dinero, calma, lujo y un cafecito. De abundancia y orden, yo te saturo. Vamos a hablar sin filtro. Bienvenidos a Oro Puro.
Welcome to another episode of Pure Gold, Live Without Filter. I just want to start saying thank you to everybody who has been subscribed, like, sharing, comment. Lately, I've been having so much love in social media, so I appreciate that. And let me start with something. This season is going to be the season for men's. It's weird in my podcast and in my content, to be honest. But today, I'm having the first man ever in all season of the podcast. So let me just say a few things. He's a certificate mental health clinician. How do you say it? I'm like, what is the difference? Certificate mental health clinician. And the voice behind the men who wants to take action for their lives. So welcome, Max Altidore.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really happy to have him because we met actually in Clinic Kids. It's the non-profit organization that we work. So shout out to Clinic Kids, by the way.
Shout out to Clinic Kids, 100%.
And we met there, and I asked Max, you know what? I think you have a lot to say for my audience, like in different terms. And let me start with the question that I ask everybody who is next to me, every chapter. Who is Max beyond all the certificates, your titles, you as a person, as a human being? Deep. Let's start deep right away.
Max is a hungry, humble young man, someone who who used to have a difficulty with satiating his appetite. Sometimes my problem was I always had an appetite, but there was nothing that could satisfy my hunger. Mm-hmm. So sometimes my appetite would cost me my mental health. It would cost me my own mental health. It would cost me time with the people that I love. But that's really at the crux of who I am now. But I would really just say that I'm just someone that's just humble and just hungry. But I've learned to pace my appetite.
How important is that? Because most of the people that I always think that I'm an immigrant. And when you move to another country, it's something that it drives you. Like you are hungry all the time.
Yeah.
You want more.
Yeah.
But to mix that with being patient, how is so hard to get there, right?
Yeah.
But once you get, you are in that point. I'm still getting some anxiety sometimes because I want more and more and more. But now, in terms of your career, so what is your background? What do you do now? Because I read like 2 pages of, so this guy is gonna drive me crazy today. So just wanna know, what do you do?
Excuse me. So presently, I'm a clinical director over a site that's regulated by the Office of Mental Health. They're a regulatory body. Prior history, involved me being a director in certain roles, being what's called like an AI clinical specialist kind of thing. Sometimes they might go like a business analyst or annotator, dealing with a lot of language learning models. My background is also in project management, so different Lean Six Sigma methodologies when it comes to working with cross-functional teams, working on different projects. Depending on the scope of the work, depending on what that organization is calling for. Even in any job that I was in, I was doing project management even before I knew what project management was. Um, but that's what I would say is kind of spans my background. Yeah.
And I also read that one of the most more like a specific thing that you deal with is with mental health for men. What is that in a specific for them?
So when it comes to the work that I did, so I actually learned about my passion of working with men when I was in college. This is when I did two pieces of research, one while in undergrad and the other while I was doing my master's,
That was the phrase that he had before.
So, what the first part of the research had to do with physical and emotional impacts of paternal absence, fatherlessness on young men in college. And then the second piece of research was dealing with more of the associated risk factors and how it impacted, young women, of course, young men, but even more so across their lifespan, but just really dealing with like the young men, young women into like young adulthood kind of thing. And such that would give us an outlook on how their life was turning out and the trajectory of that. So when I realized that I just had this knack, if you call it, for just working with men, the idea was really centered around in mental health. More times than not, I'm always seeing men. Whether they're being diagnosed with specific diagnoses, sometimes those diagnoses are consistent with a specific group of an ethnic background, right? The biases that were involved and what they needed, right? So one of the things that I saw as the cure was me having gone through my own identity crisis, me having gone through my own type of walk of different challenges and so on. So when I delved deeper into that, I realized that, working with men, I can give back because I saw that they were drawn to me and I was also drawn to them. So when it really got to I wouldn't say like the nit and grit of it, working with these men, I just realized that they were very broken, very angry, very emotionally dysregulated, and they were dealing with a silent battle, and inside of them was just like this World War III. And these are men that are leaders, for households, for, a host of different things. And, when it comes to marriage and children and the development and how important they are as a father, as a man, and a role model and whatnot. That's what I'd say.
I believe that there is kind of there's still an stigma for men in mental health, I'll say, because for us like women, we talk a lot. We talk about emotions, you can talk to your friends about that. But I had the feeling that for men, it's not like that. It's not easy for you guys. I'm just giving you my idea. I don't know, my perception about this idea. But I have this feeling that you guys have a stigma or a pressure for being men, like men should be the provider. You have this kind of pressure on yourself. And do you think that's true?
So it depends on the man's background, right? It depends on sometimes how he was raised, depends on his environment, his culture, and his faith also. There's so many different factors and nuances that goes into who a man is supposed to be. And I think that's exactly what the crux of the issue is. There's a way that always seemeth right to people, right? But the end of that path is always a path of destruction because you end up silently and in some way, like almost like facilitating somebody's destruction. And one of the things I've seen is that how people facilitate another person's destruction is by having them continue to chase after an image, having them continue to chase after an idea. And one of the main things is that of an identity crisis. If I can steer you away or put you in this cycle of you always trying to figure out who you are, I can have you stay in that process and in that cycle for about 20 years. I can have you stay in that process for 30 years. I can have you at age 70 or 75 still trying to figure out who you are. Your father didn't teach you, your mother couldn't teach you, and I was the type, my mother, God rest her soul, that she used to say, I'm your mother and your father, right? Because of the things that she had to take on. She didn't choose to. So that was pressure on her. So it naturally put pressure on me. And then I ended up missing out to a degree on a certain part of my identity that could only come from my father. So it is an issue today, and it is a stigma. The man has to accept what his role is, but what that role is depends on his faith, his culture, and what, let's say, for example, in the marriage, what he and his wife agree that the roles should be. So my answer is to trying not be biased, because I'm the provider in my home, but my wife also provides also. It's just we need to make sure that we understand each other's roles for us, our marriage, and the generations that come out of us.
This was it was deep. It was deeper than I thought. I was like, man. But I do believe, that's what I brought it up, because I do believe that you guys, I have seen it, like in different friends, family, etc., that you can tell that they don't talk about emotions. And sometimes even reach out me or any other woman or females because you guys feel safe talking about feelings. It is weird, right? But also sometimes I got the feeling that this trauma or something that you haven't treated on yourself, some of them, they justify the fact that this exists because of the way they are. So what do you think about that? Nothing justified the way you are because of a trauma, or maybe you can change, you can do something about it?
It has to be a decision for someone. What I always tell clients, people of whom I oversee, is that you always have access to choice and opportunity. You always have access. And in this case, it's this man making a decision on who he wants to be. But how can he make a decision on who he wants to be if he doesn't have a framework of possibility? How can he choose who he wants to be if he doesn't have a point of reference? Who he has become is based on what he has seen. So if he's going to choose a route to be above the trauma, if he's going to choose that, then that's work that he has to go through. He can't go above it, beneath it, on the sides of it. He has to go through it. And one of the ways to go through it is to talk. The very thing that we deem a protective mechanism, where it's us not talking, is sometimes out of fear and not just having trust, but it's also consistent with history and generations. We don't just talk out of emotion, we just get the job done, and that's it. But that's exactly what has undermined us. This is not the 30s. This isn't the 20s. This is a new age. It's a new dawn. It's a new era. It's a completely new era. So things are not going to be the same. And this is a season of disruptors. So we're going to disrupt what the status quo is. There's those of us that would stand up for a certain level, a certain stature, you know? And one of the things that we are going to stand for is that, you know, our mental health is important. Taking time off work is important. Not being so overworked is important. Taking care of ourselves, our wellness is extremely important. But to get over that trauma, to get over that label, it requires them.
For you to do your job.
in so many ways, but they won't be able to do that unless they're tying themselves to something.
Mm-hmm.
They can never do it on their own. So what is that man tying himself to in order to get through? Is it someone? Is it something? Is it an idea? Something has to pull. There has to be a rope he can latch onto, hold onto, wrap around his hand, so that it's able to pull him out. We cannot pull ourselves out because it was more than one thing that put us in. So it has to be more than one thing that gets us out. That makes sense?
Most of the time, do you think that something is someone, or is more like a goal, or is love?
So it always has to come through someone. I always tell people you will never be able to do anything on your own, whether you think it, believe it or not. Oh, somebody can say, oh, I stay home and I read books.
Yeah.
Who wrote the book? Oh, I can just, work on this and work on that. Okay, where did the idea come from? Who created that thought? Who gave you that ability, or who put that in your mind for you to kind of go after this, right? Because you have to partner with something. You have to partner with something to get you out. So I'll hold there because I don't want to go too deep.
But wait, in your experience, most of the time, it's someone?
Yes.
Okay.
It always will be someone. Everything that was created came from someone, more times than not, right? So yeah, especially in my profession, I would say it is someone. It is someone. And sometimes it's something that someone created.
Great for you.
Especially if it's AI.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. That's another, I was like, that's another topic. But one of the things that you mentioned that I have it on my mind, identity. How can you find yourself? How can you find your own identity on these days when you can compare yourself in all this hyperconnectivity on social media? How can you just shut everything off and find your voice?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Your identity. How can you find yourself with this hyperconnectivity that you compare yourself with another people, right? How can you turn everything off and find yourself?
Learning to silence the noise in your mind.
We work this a lot in clinics again.
Pace
breathing.
So, a lot of times, more times than not, there's always noise in our mind, right? There's always noise in our mind. And even in this day and age, a lot of us can't seem to fathom how a lot of things are unfolding before our eyes like this. But oftentimes we have to see that it's just history repeating itself, right? So can you see that golden thread, discern the golden thread that's happening, right? So finding your identity, it still goes back to what you're connected to, who you're connected to. For someone, they may get their identity from their faith. They may get their identity from a role model, their culture. There's different places that make up that person's identity, but you need the right noise for your identity to come into a certain level of fruition. You need the right noise, the right environment for your identity to be shaped and formed, right? It may be a certain community. You don't want bad company corrupting good character, right? So you have to be able to discern and ensure that you have some type of a framework, some type of a model to help you really parse and really discern. I mean, I just got to keep using that word, discern the type of environment by which you can thrive. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is for example, if it's somebody that's always draining you, that may not be the environment for you, and it may be kind of taking away from certain things. So it really has to do with you being in the right environment, the right people, just having the right company. Because if bad company corrupts good character, what does good company do?
In I think I have talked about this a couple times before, because I think one of the reasons that I moved to another country, I don't want to use the word escape, but I do wanted to change my environment. Even it wasn't bad, but I wasn't choosing my environment, you know? I wasn't choosing where to live. I was living with my family. I wasn't choosing, I don't know, my friends from that area. Maybe not even my coworkers, because okay, you have a job, but you don't choose with who you're gonna work, right? You only get to choose a few things. But when I decided to move to another country, it was like, you know what? Now I get the chance to choose, and that it comes even for family, because I don't have a family here, zero. So you get to choose your own family, and your friends become your family. And in that point, I think has been really, really like important. But from the base, it can change you, the way you think, the way you see the thing. It is funny, because this quote that says like, if you get together with 5 drunks, you're gonna be the 6th, right? What about if you hang around with people that love sports? It's the same thing. With 5 millionaires, you may be the next one. So I like that point, because I have lived it. Like I'm the how do you say, the life proof?
Yeah, the living, breathing
proof that that's true.
Yeah.
Like if you get to choose how you do, with who, how, what, is true. It changed you, and it comes with your identity. That's why it is connected with why I'm asking you. And talking about the identity, do you think certain habits, it can like help you to find that identity too?
Certain habits, naturally. Habit formation. Okay. So
Here, in what part? It was okay.
So
Here.
right. So the right habits, right? So like you mentioned, it could be someone that loves sports. It could be someone that loves anime. It could be someone that loves a host of different things, right? That's a natural makeup of who you are. Those are the things you like to do, right? There's a reason you like to do them, right? For example, me, I'm a nerd.
Oh, really?
I love watching anime. I used to be a real heavy gamer. I mean, I used to do it all, but over time, I realized that was actually one of my escapes. That was one of my escapes, and
from your day by day.
It was an escape from the day to day, but it was an escape from chaos.
Okay.
It was escape from things that I couldn't understand. It was an escape from things that scared me. Right. It helped me grieve more times than I can even put my finger on. So when I noticed that it started to reduce how often I'm playing the game, and my intention also started to change. Okay, when I'm playing the game now, it's different. I'm playing it with my wife and daughter. I'm not just playing it to get away so much anymore. I'm playing it with intention. With intention.
Yeah.
And so I realized that it helped me kind of form my identity a little bit, because it helped me realize what was wrong, but it helped me also see that, hey, honestly, like with this, like me playing my game, it's a part of who I am. Like I love playing games, but I've incorporated playing games with family time. And it naturally made me, it helped make me a better husband first, and then a better father.
I like that you say a better husband first and then a better father, because I think I have talked this with my mom once,
Mm-hmm.
and she said all the time, like, your father, I mean, they're divorced right now, so that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But she always say that, and I think it makes sense because most of the people said that your children's are first.
Mm.
But what about your relationship with your significant other?
I was
He is gonna be the one who's gonna be with you forever.
right. I was a husband before I became a father. So naturally, me being a husband and my wife being the wife, our unit naturally comes first, because if we don't put that first, we can't be there for our kid.
Mm-hmm.
She has to get the best of both of us. And we're not two people, we're one.
Mm-hmm.
We're one flesh, right? So naturally, me being the husband that I need to be and her being the wife that she needs to be, it naturally inclines me and helps me be the father and her the mother that our daughter needs to get, because we're also embodying something so that she can take forward with her in the generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
Her children, her children's children, and until the third and fourth generations. So what we're setting before her is a model.
Mm-hmm.
So we put her first by making sure we're first strategizing, intellectualizing, and making sure we have the right foundation. Because if we put her first, what are we really learning?
Are you guys taking note? I hope so.
Everyone will have their opinion.
Yes,
this is what works for us.
No, but it makes sense for me. Most of the people talk about motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in social media, most of the time, people is like, I love your energy to go every day at the gym. I'm like, I don't have energy. I just bring my body and do the things that I have to do. Right? So in terms of psychological thing, how can you stay like consistent on something?
How can you stay consistent on something? This is a battle of the mind.
Yes.
This is literally a battle of the mind. How do you stay consistent on something? How do you stay consistent on anything?
Right?
That's a very hard question. As simple as it may sound, it's a very hard question.
But it's hard.
It always, for myself and what I've taught people, it always comes down to choice. Do you want to be consistent? What does consistent look like for you?
What it cost you?
What will it cost even, right? So when I think about what it will take for someone to be consistent, once I can help them not first start being consistent in action, but consistent in thought, the first premise is just understanding, not jumping so quickly into solutions. Because if you're trying to, if you ask someone who kept making the same mistakes, you would ask them, hey, when you've been trying to do it by yourself, or you've been trying to implement all these solutions, how did it work out? Okay, how about we take a step back and we just understand the entire picture before we execute? I always say understanding is another cart on the train, as well as solution. Once understanding is coming, solution is naturally going to follow. Solutions are naturally going to follow, excuse me. So if I can help a person understand what's contributing to them not being consistent, if I can help somebody understand how long they have been inconsistent, what are those contributing factors across your life areas, school, education, work, career, so on and so forth. If I can understand, why wasn't you being consistent? What are the contributing factors? Like I mentioned, how long has it been going on? Who influenced this? What environments on you? Just kind of assessing, taking a holistic picture. Then we can then start getting into the strategies. Okay, these are the strategies we can use, but we're not going to use them yet. Let's just take a few weeks and just understand. When something comes up and you just say, oh, shoot, I got to be consistent in this. Can you first be consistent in your thought process? Can you first be consistent in showing up and speaking with me? We have to get you to that place of having the motivation, believing that you can be consistent before you just try to drive something out and force yourself. Before you know it, it's just gonna, you might just plateau. And that's what happens more times than not. So in this case, what it takes to be consistent, it's really them taking the premise of first, like, understanding how they can be consistent, what contributed to them not being consistent, and then the habits start coming in. It will always start with the mind.
It is. I needed to hear that too. I think so. Because I push myself a lot, but it's true. Most of the people, like, we're trying to keep going with whatever we have to do, right? Work, family, life, everything, right? But you don't make that stop. And sometimes to understand and see the picture from the outside, it helps you to understand what are you doing, how are you doing, how are you doing your things, right? How, like, a lot of people get in these cycles. It can be negative or can be positive, right? When you get in this, like, negative cycle, what it takes you to get out of that?
You have to first see that it is a negative cycle, right? Because oftentimes people like being in a negative cycle. It's what they've invested a lot of time in. Show me where you invest your time, and I will show you what you value. Value is determined by sacrifice, right? So if this person is in a negative cycle, the question is, do they want to come out? Yes, I want to come out. Okay. What has worked before to help you get out of it? What have you tried? What has worked? Why? What do you think contributed to that not working? To whatever degree, right? But in order for people to kind of come out of that negative cycle, I will stand on this 10 toes down. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. Once we can establish the fact that, okay, I'm in a negative cycle, I want to come out, and we go through that cadence, we go through that structure of, all right, I do want to come out, but these are the issues, these are the barriers, or whatever the case is. But if the person doesn't want to come out, you can't make them. You can only present and facilitate based on what they give you. So if I had it, like, moments where, of course, I had, like, many clients that were in negative cycles, in order for them to come out of that negative cycle, it started off with their mindset. When we got the mindset picture down, then it started to get into more of the behavioral and cognitive methods and strategies to help them establish a cadence of not coming back to that negative cycle. They had to change course. So what I would tell them is that you've conditioned and patterned yourself into this thing. Can we choose to invest in another strategy? Can we choose to invest in something that is not as strong of a muscle as the negative cycle? So if that's the case, if we're going to spend more time investing in that other muscle that's so underdeveloped, and you're doing it with me, we're doing it together, it shifts everything.
I like the quote, like, happiness is a choice, because it actually depends on you, but you got to put the work on it. My mentor, she teaches me this list. She has a name for everything, like a reminder for her. But it's basically, she has 7 different areas to see how you're doing in that week or month, whatever. One is your family, your health, your relationships, your growth, your finances, your appearance, your organization. So 7 areas. So you, by the end of the week, you rate yourself, like, in terms of emotional. So I was saying, in terms of emotional, for example, so you rate yourself, I don't know. Did I hang out with my friends this week? Did I need to talk to someone? If you haven't done anything, you get a D. Or what about your health? Have been working out this week? Or, okay, an A, good. But by the end of the week, you realize how many things you have done for yourself in different areas that affects you.
That's good. In
different ways too. So you can visualize, like, what am I doing or what am I not doing in your different aspects, right? Money-wise. So how do you think it affects mental health in your relationship with money?
How does money affect
how your mental health affects your relationship with money.
How does my mental health affect my relationship with money? Ay, 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 mira eso.
Mira.
Okay, so
He's making me do this podcast in another language, and now you guys know that he speaks Spanish.
Full disclosure.
Go for
When
it.
I used to struggle to fulfill a picture that I had in my own head. Right? And it had to deal with, all right, am I making enough? Am I doing enough? And this is where the pressure came. I mean, pressure on myself. I was, if you want to call it, high functioning depression, doing everything that I need to do, but inside I'm dead. Inside I'm just imploding. But I try to keep up appearances from my wife and my daughter just to make sure that I can provide, because
that's coming from the pressure that we were talking before.
Exactly. And I put so much pressure on myself because no one taught me how to take it off. No one taught me, hey, use this framework to take the pressure off. Even sometimes they might just say, hey, man, just trust God. It's like, trust what? I need the answers now. I need to know what the heck to do now, because it affected me. It affected how I see myself. It affected how I see myself as a husband, as a father. It affected me in so many different ways, but it never changed how my wife saw me. It never changed.
You have that idea that it might change the way that she was going to see you.
Yeah. And then for my daughter, she just sees me as like her whole world. So everything that I was thinking, I'm talking about suicidal thoughts here. Am I better off just dying? Like, am I better off just what am I doing? I'm not where I want to be. This is not the way I wanted my life to go. This is not the way that I planned this. And it really shook me, because if I can say now that I'm in a place that I've never been, more financially healthy than I ever even thought myself to even reach, or believed myself to even reach, balancing things that I didn't think I would be able to balance, not being able to see what I do have that was always in my hand. But with the lens by which I was viewing it, I couldn't see it. I saw something undone. But the lens that I have now, I can see what is and what it's going to become, and the mindset that it takes to get it there. But my mental health was so bad. It was so bad, but it wasn't overt. But I had to come to a place of trusting in the right things, leaning on my community, and just taking what I went through as an experience. And when I took it as the experience and I learned what I needed to learn, it propelled me. All of those challenges was so much fuel that propelled me, that told me I would never go back to what that was.
So for you to get to that point, you got to do your inner work,
Yes,
right?
Ma'am.
To get ready from the inside out. So that's why I was pointed out this thing, because I have talked to many women about this. Like, what do you do with your money? How do you make money? How do you ease your relationship with the money from the inside out, from here, from your mindset? But you're actually the first guy. So it's a different way to see the things. It's a different pressure, because even for us, we have different pressure. You gotta be cute, you gotta be kind, you gotta be that. Even in this era, even in these days.
Yeah.
The other kind of pressure that we put on ourselves is on us. But in these terms, I think guys You guys have it like harder than us. I'm gonna give you that. We gotta go through many things month by month that you have no idea. But in these terms, I think you don't talk a lot about this. Like people out there don't talk about this.
Yeah,
And it's real.
it is.
Things happen. What do you think people self-sabotage a lot about your mindset with money? Because most of the people is like it thinks in negative before in positive.
They have a lot of preconceived notions. Oftentimes, for men, not all men, for whom it applies, there's always that sense of hunger and to fulfill a certain picture. And sometimes that picture has come from what we didn't have. Sometimes that picture that we create comes from the difficulties, challenges, hardships, moments of anxiety, depressed moods, what have you. It's those things that created a picture. And then it created a race. And sometimes we could be running by ourselves. And then sometimes we might see other men on the race and now we're running even faster. Sometimes we're running without shoes on, metaphorically. And then our feet are we're getting blisters on our feet. We're getting cuts. We're running through different terrains. We're running through different weathers, different systems, different environments, different people that also have a depiction and an idea of what we should be doing. So that's in the form of things being thrown at us. Hey, carry this. Hey, while you're there, take this in your face and you might get something pelted in your eye or something like that. So now it's distorting our vision. I'm speaking metaphorically. There's so many things that would come us and it would affect our course. It would always affect our course. So I'm telling you, honestly, when it comes to just like us men in general, I think at this point, just everybody has it hard. But I do want to double down and just say it will always come down to your foundation. How does your foundation ground you? How does your foundation keep you? How does your foundation keep you on the right path and in the right cycle to help you get to where it is you need to go?
Do you think that's one of the reasons why a lot of successful people, like social successful people, feels empty in the inside because they don't have the foundation strong?
Sometimes people have a chase, but they don't know what it is they're chasing. Sometimes the chase isn't their chase, it's what was put before them. And I've had clients who told me this is just what my dad wanted me to do. And I never wanted to be an investment banker. I never wanted to work for this firm. I never wanted to do any of this. I just wanted to do podcasting. I just wanted to do God knows what. And sometimes when we're going after things, it's not necessarily our chase. It's not our thing. It's not our goal. It's not our picture. It's not our desire.
Most people don't even stop to wondering like what actually won.
And sometimes they just don't know. They don't know. How can you know what you want if your mind has always been bombarded by what somebody else told you needed? And
you haven't even tried. That's the thing.
And how can you try if you don't know? So somebody at some point in your life has to be, I don't want to call it like a Samaritan, but there is that point where you come, because I've done this with hundreds of clients, where I was representative of that kind of like that fork in the road for them. And I'm like, hey, have you ever realized this? And then they're breaking down and it's just like, man, I haven't realized this. And now it's almost like you're shaking their entire world because it's something that's just resonating with them. So there's so many things that pull us this way, it pulls us that way, it pulls us forward, it pulls us backward. But not many people know where they're going. And you won't know where you're going unless you're connected to the right person to help you see that. Who is someone above you, someone that can have a level of charge over you that can say, hey, take this route. Do this. Tell me how you feel. I feel at peace. I feel a resonance And those are keys to help you stay in the path that you're supposed to be taking.
That's why all the time I talk about my mentor. I say about my mentor, she's my friend, family, someone that I choose to be with here. And I admire a lot. Because you can reflect, like there's so many things that you can learn from them. You get inspired, but you don't know they get inspired from you too. Yeah. And I even remember once I asked her, like, why me? Like, out of all these people,
why me?
She was like, you inspire me. I'm like, there's some things that you don't even see on yourself that they can see. And it's something that you, of course, you can see on them, and you can learn like the path and take a shortcut too when you have someone to guide you.
But also, why not you? Why not you?
No, now I know. Back then I was like, why me?
Yeah.
Because I met her when I just moved to the States. I was working as a waitress. I used to be her waitress every day, taking care of her. But I was like, oh, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. Making conversation the way I am. And she saw something on me.
Right.
And from that moment, we connect, we click. But it is important to find that someone.
Yeah.
And I always say this to people, like, find that someone, like a mentor, a coach, your therapist, but someone that can help you through your life, let's say. You know what? This has been great, but we are coming to an end. Casi. So I just I have a gift for you. So Chili Shade, you know, the sunglasses brand that donates a 10% for every sale that we have. You have the link in the video.
Thank you so much.
So that's going to be for you. So Chili Shade is come with a dynamic here. I have it wrote it. Of course, he didn't read it, but it's called Rapid Fire. It's called Rapid Fire. That means that I'm gonna give you a quote, and you say the first thing that come into your mind. Okay? One daily mental habit you recommend. Don't say pace breathing.
One daily mental habit you recommend: getting up and praying.
Praying? Most common lie people tell themselves.
I got this.
Say, I got this.
I got this.
A belief that holds men back.
Doing it themselves.
Something therapy can't fix.
Purpose.
What is purpose?
Purpose is a conglomerate of things. And the reason I say like therapy can't fix purpose is because therapy alone will never be the sole solution for something. It can help bring perspective to things, but it will also always help you connect with the very things that creates a holistic picture that will help you understand your purpose. But your purpose will never be revealed to you all in one shot. You'll always get glimpses as you reach even different pivotal moments in your life. You'll never get the full picture.
Like, what does live in pure gold mean to you?
Live in pure gold? De oro.
Sí, oro puro.
What does living in pure gold means? Being unadulterated, transparent, and honest with yourself.
Any final message to someone that I can see you out there? Something that we didn't talk maybe? We went through a different path here, right? We navigate the waves.
Something that I would just say to anybody.
Whatever any final message for the people that is out there listening to you.
Never, ever believe that there's such a thing as you doing it by yourself. Even in the very moments you feel alone or a sense of loneliness, loneliness is a canvas by which you can create things. So create what needs to be created. Just don't ever do it alone. There's someone always there. You may not discern it. You may not see it. You may not see the person. But that person is there. But it will always start with you. I hope that means something.
And thank you, Max, for taking
Thank
the time. We finally make it.
Finally.
Thank you to EcoFlow also, who is like set up all the setup for us today. So if you want to do your podcast in New York, please contact them. I'm going to leave all the information in the link. And also Max social media. They can reach you on social media if they want to have a session with you or what?
Sure. I'm on Psychology Today. Just type in Maxim Altidore and you'll find me.
And thank you everyone for watching till the end. Please subscribe. Don't forget, like and share. See you in the next one.
Bye, guys.